Pad and Pencil by David McCord. I drew a rabbit. John erased him, and not the dog I said had chased him. I drew a bear on another page, but John said, "Put him in a cage." I drew some mice. John drew the cat with nasty claws. The mice saw that. I got them off the page real fast. The things I draw don't ever last. We drew a bird with one big wing. He couldn't fly worth anything, but sat there crumpled on a limb. John's pencil did a job on him. 3 bats were next. I made them fly. John smudged one out against the sky. Above an owl, he said, could hoot. He helped me with my wolf. The brute had lots too long a tail, but we concealed it all behind a tree. By then I couldn't think of much except to draw a rabbit hutch. But since we had no rabbit now, I drew what must have been a cow, with curvy horns stuck through the slats. They both looked something like the bats. And feeling sad about the bear inside his cage, I saw just where I'd draw the door to let him out. And that's just all of it about. My dress is old. My dress is old, but at night the moon is kind. Then I wear a beautiful moon-colored dress. Tribe unknown. I watched an eagle soar. Grandmother, I watched an eagle soar high in the sky until a cloud covered him up. Grandmother, I still saw the eagle behind my eyes. Virginia driving hawk Sneve. Pulling the theme together. Creativity. 1. Author Philip Isaacson describes the buildings in this selection as wondrous. What wondrous buildings have you seen? What makes a building wondrous? 2. Carmen Lomas Garza has decided to paint some new paintings. She travels to visit Mr. Youter. What will she paint? Next, she visits Roxaboxen. What will she decide to paint there? 3. Think of the characters you met in this book. Mr. Youter, the Crow, Faith Ringgold, Francis, and all the others. Each one used his or her imagination. Choose 2 of the characters. Have them talk to each other about being in this book. What would they say to each other? Books to enjoy. Faith Ringgold by Robin Montana Turner. Little Brown, 1993. In the 1930s, when Faith Ringgold was born, there were few African-American women artists. This remarkable woman brought about a new art form through her determination to be true to her heritage. Brown Angels, an album of pictures and verse by Walter Dean Myers, HarperCollins, 1993. Walter Dean Myers has collected turn-of-the-century photographs of African-American children for some time. Now he has collected these photos into an album and written poems to accompany them. Whoppers, Tall Tales, and Other Lies by Alvin Schwartz. Illustrations by Glenn Rounds. HarperCollins, 1975. Fantastic, outrageous lies and stories that could never, ever have possibly happened. Mark Chagall by Ernest Raboff. HarperCollins, 1988. Chagall's bright, imaginative paintings of everyday lives are explained. Behind each picture is a story of happiness or love. Edward Lear by Gloria Common, Macmillan, 1990. Edward Lear loved to make children laugh. His travels led him to create nonsense in his lyrical limericks and artist pictures. How to Really Fool Yourself by Vicky Cobb, HarperCollins, 1981. Mirages and optical illusions mingle as dozens of stunts, sound effects, and mysteries are explained. see why you were fooled. Shadow Play by Paul Fleischman. Illustrations by Eric Beddoes. HarperCollins 1990. Those who dare will open their eyes to giant shadows stalking the stage. Can you believe your eyes or your mind watching the shadows creep into the show? Home Place by Crescent Dragon Wagon. Illustrations by Jerry Pinkney McMillan, 1990. A forgotten home site and spring daffodils help a family of hikers imagine the past owner's colorful lives. Literary terms. Autobiography. Family Pictures is an unusual sort of autobiography. Carmen Lomas Garza uses her paintings along with her stories to tell about special events in her life. Biography. In the biography of Faith Ringgold, Faith's paintings tell almost as much about her as the words of the article do. Character. Mr. Youter is a very funny character made up by Glenn Rounds. The Old Snake is another. One reason Mr. Youter is funny is because he doesn't seem at all afraid of the snakes. The snakes are funny because they act like people. Part of the humor comes because the characters' reactions are so different from what we would expect from our experience. Fable. A fable is a short story, usually with animal characters, that gives a lesson at the end. The Crow and the Pitcher is a fable, though The Crow and the Pitcher rhymes. Most fables do not. Stage directions. Notice that a list of the characters as well as the time and setting appear at the beginning of the play Mother Goose Gumshoe. At various points in the play, the playwright suggests things for the characters to do while they say their lines. For example, sit means that the character Mrs. H. Dumpty should sit in a chair on stage. These directions are called stage directions. Tall tale. The one thing that separates tall tales from all other kinds of folk tales is exaggeration. Babe, Paul Bunyan's blue ox, measures 42 axe handles between the eyes. Pecos Bill lassos the Big Dipper. Exaggeration. In Mr. Youter and the Train Robbers, there are many examples of exaggeration, such as the signs that claim Hagedorn's overalls wear like elephant hide. Exaggeration adds to the humor of the story. Glossary. Vocabulary from your selections. Amateur. 1. A person who does something for pleasure, not for money. Only amateurs can compete in college sports. 2. Of amateurs, by amateurs. 1. Noun. 2. Adjective. Anonymous. By or from a person whose name is not known or given. Hang up when you receive an anonymous call. Adjective. Audition. 1. A hearing to test the ability of a singer, actor, or other performer. The auditions for the school play will be held Wednesday. 2. To perform at or give such a hearing. 1. Noun. 2. Verb. Boll weevil, a small beetle with a long snout whose larva is hatched in young cotton bolls and does great damage to them. Noun. Border. 1. The side, edge, or boundary of anything, or the part near it. 2. To touch at the edge or boundary. Canada borders on the U.S. 3. A strip on the edge of anything for strength or ornament, a lace border. 1. 3. Noun. 2. Verb. Cemetery, a place for burying the dead. Noun. Plural cemeteries. Client, a person for whom a lawyer, accountant, or other professional person acts. Noun. Companion, one who often goes along with or accompanies another, one who shares in what another is doing. Complicated, 1. Hard to understand. 2. Made up of many parts, complex. An automobile engine is a complicated machine. Adjective. Constellation, a group of stars that forms a recognized pattern. There are 88 constellations in the sky. Noun. Departure. 1. The act of going away, act of leaving. His departure was sudden. 2. A turning away, change, a departure from our old custom, noun. Evidence, facts, proof, anything that shows or makes clear. The jam on his face was evidence that he had been in the kitchen, noun. Fabric, a woven or knitted material, cloth. Velvet, denim, and linen are fabrics, noun. Famous, very well known, noted, adjective. Finalist, a person who has performed well enough to take part in the final round of an athletic or educational contest, noun. Flood, 1. A great flow of water over what is usually dry land. The heavy rains caused a serious flood near the river. 2. To flow over, cover, or fill with water. 1. Noun. 2. Verb. Ford. 1. A place where a river, stream, or other body of water is not too deep to cross by walking through the water. 2. To cross a river, stream, or other body of water by walking or driving through the water. We will have to ford the river below the falls. 1. Noun. 2. Verb. Frazzled, nervously tired or worn out. Adjective. Honor. 1. Credit for acting well, glory or fame, good name. It was greatly to her honor to be given a scholarship. 2. Honors. Special mention given to a student for having done work much above the average. 3. A source of credit, person or thing that reflects honor. 4. A sense of what is right or proper, nobility of mind. 5. Great respect, high regard. 6. To show respect to. 1 through 5, noun. 6, verb. Indicate. 1. To point out, point to, show, make known. The arrow on the sign indicates the way to go. 2. To be a sign of. Fever indicates illness. Verb. Indicates, indicated, indicating. Inspire. 1. To fill with a thought or feeling. A chance to try again inspired us with hope. 2. To cause thought or feeling. 3. To fill with excitement. 4. To arouse effort or activity in someone. Verb. Inspires, inspired, inspiring. Jewel. 1. A precious stone, gem. Jewels are used in the moving parts of some watches, as well as worn in pins and other ornaments. 2. A valuable ornament to be worn, often made of gold or silver and set with gems. 3. To set or decorate with jewels, or with things like jewels. 1, 2, noun. 3, verb. Loot. 1. To rob, plunder. 2. Things taken by force, booty, spoils. 1, verb. 2, noun. Marble. 1. A hard limestone, white or colored, that can take a beautiful polish. Marble is much used for statues and in buildings. 2. Made of marble, a marble floor. 3. A small, usually colored glass ball used in children's games. 1, 3, noun. 2, adjective. Mayor. A person at the head of a city or town government. Noun. Merchant. 1. A person who buys and sells goods for a living. 2. A storekeeper. 3. Trading, having something to do with trade. Merchant ships. 1, 2, noun. 3, adjective. Mosque, a Muslim place of worship. Noun. Needlework, work done with a needle, sewing, embroidery. Parboil, to boil till partly cooked. Verb. Pier. 1. A structure built out over the water and used as a walk or a landing place. 2. One of the solid supports on which the arches of a bridge rest. Pillar. Noun. Piñata. A pot filled with candy, fruit, and small toys hung at Christmas time in Mexico and other Latin American countries. Blindfolded children swing sticks in order to break the pot to get what is inside. Noun. Plural, piñatas. Pottery. Pots, dishes, or vases made from clay and hardened by heat. Noun. Predicament. An unpleasant, difficult, or bad situation. She was in a predicament when she missed the last train home. Noun. Prospector. A person who explores or examines a region, searching for gold, silver, oil, uranium, or other valuable resources. Noun. Ruin. 1. Often ruins, plural. That which is left after a building or wall has fallen to pieces, the ruins of an ancient city. 2. Very great damage, destruction, overthrow. 3. A fallen or decayed condition. The house had gone to rule from neglect. 4. The cause of destruction, decay, or downfall. Reckless spending will be your ruin. 5. To destroy, spoil. 1 through 4, noun. 5, verb. Sabotage. 1. Damage done to property, machinery, bridges, railroads, or the like, especially by enemy agents. Noun. Shelter. 1. Something that covers or protects from weather, danger, or attack. 2. To protect, shield, hide, to shelter runaway slaves. 3. Protection, refuge. 4. A temporary place of shelter for poor or homeless people or for animals without owners. 1, 3, 4, noun. 2, verb. Slack. 1. Not tight or firm, loose, a slack rope. 2. The part that hangs loose, pull in the slack of the rope. 3. Slow. 1, 3, adjective. 2, noun. Square knot, a knot firmly joining two loose ends of rope or cord. Each end is formed into a loop which both encloses and passes through the other. Stock. 1. Things for use or for sale, supply used as it is needed. The store keeps a large stock of toys. 2. Cattle or other farm animals, livestock. The farm was sold with all its stock. 3. To lay in a supply of, supply. Our camp is well stocked with food. 4. To get or keep regularly for use or for sale. 5. Kept on hand regularly for use or for sale. 6. A part used as the support or handle, the stock of a rifle. 1, 2, 6, noun. 3, 4, verb. 5, adjective. Suspicious. 1. Causing one to suspect. Someone suspicious was hanging around the house. 2. Feeling suspicion, suspecting, adjective. Temple. 1. A building used for the service or worship of a god or gods. 2. Any building set apart for worship, especially a Jewish synagogue. Noun. Tie-dye. Dye cloth by tying some of the material in knots to prevent the cloth inside from absorbing the dye. Verb. Tie-dyed, tie-dyeing. Trample. 1. To walk or step heavily on, crush. 2. To walk or step heavily, tramp. Verb. Tramples, trampled, trampling. Weigh. 1. To find out how heavy a thing is. 2. To have as a measure by weight. I weigh 110 pounds. 3. To bend by weight, burden. Boughs weighed down with fruit. 4. To bear down, be a burden. 5. To balance in the mind, consider carefully. He weighs his words before speaking. 6. To lift up an anchor. Verb. Worship. 1. Great honor and respect, the worship of God. 2. To pay great honor and respect to. 3. Ceremonies or services in honor of God. Prayers and hymns are part of worship. 4. To take part in a religious service. 5. To consider extremely precious, hold very dear, adore. A miser worships money. 1, 3, noun. 2, 4, 5, verb.